To kick off the second season, we get an episode where Rudy is nearly replaced. It all starts with Bobby Wasabi giving the dojo a new robot sensei. The kids and even Rudy are happy for having this new addition to the dojo. The new robot teaches Jack a better technique right away. Because Rudy sees the robot is doing a great job, he tells the kids he's going to leave and get a couple of things done. Milton is the first one to question their new addition and says robots always want to take over the world. He tells Eddie they should download the robot's operating system to figure out what makes it tick. Meanwhile, back at the dojo, Jack with Kim and Jerry are training. Rudy calls in to check on them and says he will return after taking care of some urgent business. We then see that Rudy's urgent business consists of various adventures. Milton and Eddie figure out that when the robot notices humans aren't perfect, then it will become progressively more violent. The boys decide it's on them to stop the robot. Later, Rudy finally returns to the dojo and sees how much progress his students have made. Rudy likes the progress but says now that he's back, he will take over. He goes to change but finds Bobby Wasabi in his office. Bobby tells Rudy that he's fired since the robot can do everything he does. We also see how the robot wants to only train with Jack. It refuses to train with Kim or Jerry.
That thing is really getting on my nerves.
It stopped letting me practice because it thinks I'm a monkey.
Would you quit it?
The three students say they should go complain to Rudy, but when they go into his office, they find Bobby instead. He tells them he has fired Rudy and replaced him with the robot. Over at Milton's house, Milton and Eddie come up with the idea to build a robot to fight back against the robot at the dojo. While this is happening, Jack with Kim and Jerry go visit Rudy, and we see how distraught his life has been since getting fired. The students tell Rudy they're better at karate, but are miserable without him. Rudy tells them the robot is a perfect sensei, so they don't need him.
Kidding? Of course we need you. Rudy, that thing isn't our friend. Come on, you are. Compose yourself, big fella.
So, what you guys are saying is you want me back?
More than anything.
Rudy decides to return and fight for his dojo. The robot Milton and Eddie have been building is now ready, but over at the dojo, the sensei robot begins being hostile with Bobby Wasabi. In that moment, the students with Rudy arrive to the dojo. Milton and Eddie also arrive and introduce their robot, but their robot is no match to the sensei robot. Rudy says enough is enough and decides to go one-on-one with the robot. The robot is too great and is beating Rudy, but Rudy doesn't give up. Jack then joins in to help Rudy, but also gets beat up. The rest of the students also help but do no damage to the robot. The kids then group up and do the Wasabi chant. The chant makes the robot start malfunctioning and it stops working. Rudy gives the robot a final kick and gets his dojo back.
Guys, I just want you to know that as long as you're a part of this dojo, it'll always be worth fighting for. Get in here.
I will say that besides being enjoyable, this episode was also ahead of its time. People have always thought robots would take over human jobs, but just this year we started seeing that becoming a reality. For example, the robots from Elon Musk and Amazon putting robots in their warehouses instead of humans. One thing I never liked was that just because the dojo was named after him and they all respected him very much, Bobby Wasabi became Rudy's boss. I get that he's a legend to them, but there's no need to give him power over the dojo. Overall, this was a great way to kick off Season 2. We got to see Rudy's home, and it's always great getting an insight into the characters' lives outside of the dojo.